toe tapping, hand clapping, down home gospel music. Watch on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and your local Comcast. Download the SVP TV app now on your smart television and mobile device. Center Stage Gospel season premieres Sunday, 8 p.m. Central. Tune in to Talking Law with attorney Daryl O'Neill and the special guest host, attorney Jerome Payne. Live TV talk on your digital device, on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Download the SVP TV app right now. Check us out every Tuesday on Comcast Cable, Channel 17, 8:30 p.m. And we are live every Friday on Facebook Live, 6 o'clock in the evening. You've got a question? Our attorneys have the answer. So let's talk law with attorney Daryl O'Neill on the SVP TV network.
Welcome to Talking Law with Daryl O'Neill. I'm your host. I got my main man, Jerome, with me.
What's up, Daryl?
Man, another day in the neighborhood.
All right.
So, we got another live show.
Yes.
It's Friday nights we do the live show. Hey, if you want to talk to us live, we're going to put the number up that you give us a call. You can watch us live on Facebook Live, Fire Stick, Roku TV, Apple TV, the SVP TV network app.
Yeah.
I mean, any of those things you can watch. Oh, did I say YouTube and Facebook?
Not yet, but go ahead and say
Oh, YouTube and Facebook
Yes,
Live.
yes.
So you can watch us on any one of those things, and then we'll have the number up. And if you got a question, you can call in and ask that question. And it doesn't matter what subject we're talking about, we're going to answer your question.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let's go ahead and do this. I mean, we got a good show today. We want to finish off with bankruptcy. A lot of information, you know, that we've been trying to give you over a few shows to let it soak in. But anyway, got to give out shout outs to the West Coast, California.
Always.
Give some shout outs to Little Rock, Arkansas. Give some shout outs to West Memphis, Arkansas, Memphis, Shelby County, Mississippi, and always to my mom, the great state of Missouri.
Well, it's interesting you talked about West Memphis. I was at a program on Monday for Dr. King, and the mayor of West Memphis was present. They gave him a citation from the Shelby County government.
Oh, okay.
But Marco McClinton was present.
Marco McClinton.
That's his name.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, the mayor.
Mayor.
Yeah. I was like, ain't that the mayor?
Yeah,
oh,
well,
okay.
Okay. That's what I was saying. He was present.
Okay.
And everybody was excited about it. Plus, the little young mayor in Earl, Arkansas, the 18-year-old, just wanted to be mayor in Earl, Arkansas.
Really? 18 years old?
18 years.
Dude, he can't even drink.
18 years old.
Wow.
So the mayors of Arkansas, West Memphis, and the mayor of Earl, Arkansas are black. And so now we got an election coming up for the city mayor's office here in Memphis. And we got 1,000 people running again, as of course. So I don't know if we're gonna wind up with a white mayor again or not.
Well,
I like Jim. I think
yeah.
Jim did a good job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, personally, you know, I don't really, you know, whether the mayor is white or black, I don't really care. But what I do care about is if you have 60 plus percentile in a particular area or organization, it would seem to me that the representation of that organization would be obvious.
I think that's true, Daryl. And that's one of the problems. See, there is no primary for city mayor, but there was a primary for county mayor. That's why we only had one candidate,
Right.
a Republican candidate and a Democratic candidate. But in the city of Memphis, there is no primary, so that's why you got all of these people running for mayor. So the highest vote getter turns out to be the winner.
And there is no 50% requirement.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have to at least 50%, don't you?
No.
Oh, yes, just the highest vote
The
getter.
highest vote, because nobody get 50%.
That's exactly
the election before live.
That's you for the last two,
Okay.
as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So I don't understand why we can't get it, but you know, a lot of people smarter than I am couldn't figure it out either. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting.
Hey, I appreciate you letting me talk about that, man. Just a little bit of politics.
Hey, it wouldn't be you, Jerome. If you wouldn't do just a tad bit of politics.
And there, I'm so excited about Dr. King's birthday on Monday. It was an amazing program at Monumental Baptist Church. I've been going there ever since Dr. King passed away. So I'm excited that we had a nice turnout. Whitehaven High School's gospel choir was there. They were magnificent. Those young people were doing it. Plus, Whitehaven High School had over $1 billion in scholarships.
Wow. $1 billion in
They're
scholarships?
doing a marvelous job over there.
Wow.
So it gives me hope because I think that somehow or another we've lost control of this generation of children.
Mm-hmm.
When you have 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, and 15-year-olds committing crime just rampantly through the city, and there, I believe it goes back to, I don't know how we got here tonight.
Man, you always go left, man. I always gotta bring you back in, but that's okay.
How did we get there, Darryl? And I believe it's because parents are not allowed to discipline their children the way we used to do it.
Is it parents or is it the school system and parents?
Well, I mean, school system and parents, but the police, a parent cannot whoop a child, but the police officer can go upside his head with a billy club and knock his senseless, or beat them senseless, or whatever they want to do to a child, but the parent can't do it. So children have absolutely no fear over their parents. They can come in any time of night they want to come in. They don't have a curfew.
Yeah, but I don't have no kids now, but in that
So
area,
so they can call 911 all they want to call on you.
I wish they would. They can go, and anybody. Yeah, I wish they would, because I don't play that.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
The children have absolutely no fear of their parents now. So that's why you can get, how old was the child who shot the teacher?
Oh, that was 6 years old.
6 years old. They're carrying guns to school. I think they arrested 8 juveniles for stealing cars, breaking in cars, and now they've let them back out now. So we got a major problem, and it goes back to discipline. So where are the politicians when you need them? But anyway.
You mean where are the outrage when these types of things are happening?
The parents are outraged. They had a crime summit at New Salem a couple of weeks ago. It was packed, jam-packed. But we need the politicians to get on the stick. We know what the problems are.
Yeah.
What we need are solutions.
Well, okay, so why do we, now you get ready to test me now.
Yeah.
Why do I need a politician to give me a solution when I know it's Pookie that's robbing people? Because Pookie hangs out with my son and they talk trash all the time. So why wouldn't I turn Pookie in?
That's interesting.
That's the problem. You don't get off that easy, Jerome. I'm not going to let the parents, because they will not give up those people when they're doing wrong.
Let me tell you why. Because anytime a black person has a contact with a police officer, it could wind up deadly.
Oh, come on, man. That's some
Yeah.
okay.
Every
Come on, that
Yeah.
dog. Really?
Every
Okay,
police.
they have hotlines. They got. You ain't gotta have contact.
Listen to what I'm saying. Listen closely to what I'm saying.
Now that's the issue. That's the reason why we got problems. We want to make excuses. Okay.
Every contact with police officers for a black person could wind up deadly.
No doubt.
So why would I turn a child in and they're going to have a contact with police officers and they want to be it?
That's not how it goes, Jerome.
Okay, talk to me.
Because that's a cop-out.
Okay.
Because I don't disagree that when you look like us, then there is a higher, potential of bad contact when you're dealing with police officers.
Okay.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
But what I do disagree with is they have hotlines, they have civic organizations, they got all these places that you can go and give names and give addresses to the bad apples.
Okay. So
and we won't do it.
okay, so you give a name to the police officer for a bad apple. This kid is absolutely horrible. When the police officer knocks on his door and he breaks out running, and they run him down and they beat him to death. So you're responsible for that, aren't you?
No, you're not.
But
No, you're not.
So the young man that died the other day, Daryl, it was a stop for reckless driving.
Yeah, that's okay. We're not gonna let you do that.
It
now.
happens far too.
It does
many
happen
times,
too many
yeah.
times. But when you see a 13, a 14, a 15-year-old kid that has not just robbed and just not stolen one car, they've done a litany of cars.
I don't disagree with you.
So,
We're not disagreeing.
I'm turning him in.
Okay, so you turning them in,
Why not?
but what happens when they have the contact with the police?
That's not my problem.
Okay, I got you.
My problem is I am going to be a viable part of society.
But we don't trust the police officers like we should.
I don't
Daryl.
trust a 14-year-old kid that's been stealing 4 and 5 cars.
I'm with you. So what's the solution?
The solution is turn their butt in.
Okay, all right.
I mean, come on now, Jerome. You see, and here's what we do. And see, now you don't went left on me, because what we end up doing is we start making excuses.
Okay.
When your kid is a bad kid in school,
Okay.
and the teacher tells you that your kid is cutting up and he's cussing and he's out of control, and you say, "Not my kid," or "My kid wouldn't do that."
That's one side.
Yeah.
But take the other side where I know he is, but I can't do nothing with him.
Again, that's
He
a
won't
problem.
Listen, he doesn't come home. He brings stuff here. To
That
the house
started
that I
right
tell you.
here.
But
That
you-
started
but you
right
can't
here.
discipline them there.
That started right here.
You can't discipline.
That started right here. My son,
You
right?
still haven't answered the question.
Hold on,
Why can't you discipline him?
That's a choice.
Okay.
That's a choice. I would rather go to jail and stay in jail for the rest of my life than let my kid run over me.
Okay. All right. That's good. I see. Okay.
That's who I am.
So you're good. with
Yeah,
that.
I would rather go to
But
jail
what
and
about
stay
the
there for the
parent-
rest of my life.
What about the parent who does discipline a child and wind up arrested and wind up being sentenced and wind up with a felony on their record?
That's bad lawyering. That's a lawyering
You
issue.
think the lawyer can?
That's a lawyering issue.
Okay.
That's a lawyering issue.
Okay.
Because if 12 people in a box, because that's who's you're going to get.
Right.
You're going to get 12 people in a box.
Right.
And if you've got 12 people in a box, and I'm telling these 12 people, hey, I'm here because my son was out of control and I would not allow it. I'm here because all I did what your mother and father did to you. Put some dry leather on his butt. That is the reason why I'm here.
Is that your argument?
That is my argument. And if you think I should go to jail for that, let me go. But when you do not cry when my son
Okay.
shoots your kid in the head.
Okay. Okay.
Do not cry when my son robs somebody.
Okay. Okay.
Because you have told me I cannot discipline my child.
Okay. So
Can I have it both ways?
So what you talking about is jury nullification? Then?
I don't care what it's called.
And so you're talking about just ignoring what
I
the,
am.
what the statute says.
I am.
Okay.
And I guess what? I represented a client, right? And I was representing this client because he was being charged for domestic violence.
Okay.
Okay.
Because
And-
he whooped the child.
No.
Okay.
Because he beat up his mother's boyfriend.
Okay.
He beat up his mother's boyfriend because his mother
was beating up on
because his mother boyfriend had the nerve to put his hand on his mom.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Then they arrested my client.
Okay.
And they charged him with aggravated assault because they beat the dog. And you know what? They better than me. Because if you beating up my mama,
Yeah.
I'm taking you out.
Okay.
So they better than me. You know, and I would have clandestinely put you out. So they better than me. They beat him up
Right.
and called an ambulance for him.
Okay.
Okay. I told the prosecutor, asked me to take a deal. I said, not in this life. I want a trial. This is when folks was on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we come back, they would ask for continuance. I said, Your Honor, I've been asking for a trial date. I don't know why I can't get a trial date. Because, think about it. I asked every police officer I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I asked every person that I would come in contact, if a man was beating up your mother, would you defend him? And they say yes.
Yes. Okay.
So what have I done? because my argument is self-defense of others. So that's the same. I'm not doing jury nullification for my child. I am saying I did what I did to protect society. Self-defense of others.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting argument.
Did
Did you ever get a trial?
Hell no.
They dropped the charge.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, okay,
Because it doesn't.
okay, great. That's great. That's a great job.
Prosecutors don't want to lose.
Right. That's a
They
great
don't
job.
want to lose.
Okay.
And I wasn't going to plead guilty. I'm not going to give my client a felony then for a guy that's a piece of crap.
That was a good job. That was a good job.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Now look, let's be real here. Child abuse is for somebody. Now, when I was growing up, the way when my pops whooped our butt, that's child abuse.
Right, exactly. When I was
Now, you know, because today, I don't know any kid that's younger than me that has had their butt whooped with a extension cord.
Can't do it. You can't do it today like you used to do it.
And you ever got whooped with an extension cord? See,
Right.
nobody in the generation
hit upside the head with a belt buckle.
below my generation
Right.
has been whooped with, because, you know, I tell you, I stole something once.
Right.
No, I didn't steal nothing.
was with some people.
I was with somebody that stole something,
Right.
and I ate some of it.
Right.
I didn't even steal it.
Candy, just candy.
It was candy. I
Right.
didn't steal it, man.
Okay.
I mean, I ate some of it.
Right.
They called, they said, they stopped us all for shoplifting. They said, we need your parents' information.
You didn't get my parents.
You didn't get my parents' information. Well, we gonna take me to jail. Cause I know if you call my father up here, he is gonna kill me. I know you call my mother up here, she gonna kill me. You know, so after that, you know, I wasn't going. So dude, that's how you know who your friends is. So dude who was with me told him his mother's name. His mother told my mother came up there and got me. Now, of course, I knocked that mug out later on. Because I'm like, dude, you talk too much.
Well, Darryl, you just made my argument.
What?
You just made my argument.
What's that?
With your parents, you knew if you called your parents, they
Exactly.
were going to kill you. But
Exactly.
now, children don't have that fear. That's my argument now.
You call my daughter, you know my daughter,
Right.
and you know my son.
Right.
Call my daughter and my son right now,
Right.
and ask them, if somebody called about them, what would I have done to them?
You'd have tore their butts up.
No doubt in their mind.
But Darryl, that's the argument.
No doubt in their
You
mind.
made my argument for you. Parents can't do that today.
You couldn't do it then, Jerome.
You go to school. You can't go to school and
They
throw the child out of class.
They took out corporal punishment in the school system in 2005.
Okay.
Okay?
That's about as long as Bapsipa's been in place then.
Okay, that's exactly.
Yeah, okay.
They took it out in 2005.
Okay.
And maybe it's been 4. It was 4 or 5 they took it out. Okay? They took corporal punishment out of school.
Right.
And they went left like you talking about, where they said, if you're, don't, if you, call now. And my kids, it was so-and-so something. I say, dude, if you ever,
I dare you to call them.
hear the phone. Call them if you want to. Not only am I going to kill you, if you happen to survive, you can't ever come back here.
Right. Okay. Well, I know of a
Because
case.
you my enemy now.
I know of a case right today where a female mother had to discipline a young lady because she was getting belligerent, out of control, on the phone all night long, failing in every one of her classes, will not go to school, and she decided that she needed to step in and intervene and do something about it.
How old was this kid?
She's about 15.
Okay, and she was on the phone with what? A cell phone?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the problem.
Okay.
See, this is where the stupidity
Well,
is.
take the cell phone away, but what about her grades in the school?
Okay.
What about her grades? What about her talking back?
15 is too late.
What about That's what we're talking about.
You
there.
waited too late.
Okay.
I mean, it starts here.
I got you.
My son, one time, my daughter, one time, took them to the grocery store. They got all mad and all whatever, and pulled out the grocery store and started kicking their legs and acting like they got a fool. And I whooped their butt right there in the store.
What year was that, though, Darryl?
I don't care.
You can't do that today.
They didn't ever do that again.
No more. Okay.
Ever.
All right.
This was 1 and 2 years old.
Okay.
I wouldn't say 1. I think it was maybe 2 or 3.
Right.
It's the terrible, what they call it, terrible twos.
Terrible twos, right,
Yeah, it
right.
was 2 or 3. Never did that again,
Right.
ever.
Right.
Because again, you know, every time a kid does something wrong, you can't whoop them, because then they become callous to it.
Of course.
Every time somebody does something wrong, you can't holler at them.
Of
You
course.
can't beat them up.
Of
You know,
course. Right.
You know, you gotta set some parameters,
Right.
and then you gotta set some rules, and then whatever the rules are, those are the rules. You cannot bend the rules. And that's one of the things they always just say, that, you know, that you just don't care. You don't have no bend. I don't care. I don't have no bend. The rules are what they are.
Mm-hmm.
You see, because if you don't do that,
That's exactly right.
it starts right here.
That's my point.
It starts right here. So when you say 15,
That's my
you
point.
have waited too late. Prime example, police officer working for the Memphis Police Department got fired. This is a published case, okay?
Okay.
Published case, she got fired. She got fired because they were charged her with domestic violence for whooping her 16-year-old daughter's butt.
Okay. All right. That's a good point. Let's talk about
They
that.
fired her.
Okay.
Charged her with, you know, domestic violence and fired her.
It's a felony too.
All the charges end up getting dismissed.
Okay.
You know, all the because the kid was out of control.
Okay.
The mother was telling the kid to do something. The kid was losing it, acting like she ain't got no sense, disrespecting the mother, and the mother put her in her place.
Mm-hmm.
She did like now all of a sudden you a victim. When you know, if you keep your that fly trap
Right.
shut,
Right. Yeah. Right. Right.
you wouldn't get punched in it.
Right.
You know, so again, I don't remember if
Did she leave a mark on her?
all I know is the police was called.
Okay.
You know, DCS stepped in, Child Protective Services, all this other stuff, and, you know, and the story was the story.
They removed the child out of the home, from the home
A day,
temporarily. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, while they resolved that, a day
Okay.
or two.
I got you.
But you know, but she gets fired from a job she had for 17, 18 years.
Okay.
Because now all of a sudden the police department, you're charged with domestic violence. I am not going, I'd rather lose my job. There is a problem when you decide you're not going to take the steps. You can't talk the talk and not walk the walk.
Mm-hmm.
When my son, you know, I always tell people, it's not the school system's job to teach my kids. That is my job.
Right. Right.
Now, I put my kids in the school system for other reasons. Some social skills.
Right. Right. I got you.
You know,
I got you.
some oversight while I can go and make some money. But educating my kids is not your job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there was a time when my son was acting like, he acting crazy in
Right.
school.
Right. Right.
I say, dog, look,
You have to get there every day in school.
yeah, not every day, but once a week.
Once a week you were there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I go up there, whoop his butt.
Yeah.
And then he begged not to, don't call my dad, don't call my dad, all that stuff. Then I said, you know what, man? I had enough of this.
Right.
I pulled him out of school and homeschooled him.
Homeschooled him.
Everybody's talk that talk,
Mm-hmm.
but you ain't really make that step.
I got you.
Again, I don't talk about nothing
Right.
that I ain't willing to do.
I got you. I got
And
you.
I'm not saying I'm smarter than any teachers,
No.
but I can read.
But it's a problem there that a lot of parents are faced with. That's why these kids are out of control.
Yeah, but you
Because
can't wait.
discipline them.
You can't have your 3, 4, 5-year-old kids out there twerking and can sing every rap song in the neighborhood, but they don't know what a pot is.
Right, right, and they cannot.
And they can't read.
They can't read. They can't spell. They can't do math.
You can't buy Nintendo video games
Right.
for your kids or whatever the video games are for your kids, and they play video games all night,
All day.
but they can't do their math.
Well, they can't get up and go to school next day because they've been up all night playing games. So you're right. So it's, but I'm just trying to bring out
You
the
don't
issues.
buy. Make me understand. In anybody ever, make me understand why a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, even 17-year-old kid need their own cell phone.
Okay.
Make me understand that. Because if you give them a cell phone, you're asking for trouble. Cell phones with internet on it
Right.
breeds trouble. Because now you're saying, let's do the texting. So now I'm going to send Pookie my number, and I'm going to give, girl my number.
Right.
Then now they start sending inappropriate pictures.
Right.
Okay, that's a problem. Now they on Facebook, they on Instagram, they on Snapchat,
TikTok.
TikTok
is
doing
the
all
worst.
these stupidity, right?
Right.
And then you open the door for pedophiles to start,
Right.
getting in. You open the door for people to start molding your kids instead of you molding them. So why do those things? My kids was mad as hell at me, man.
They never had a cell phone there.
My son got it when he was a senior in high school.
Okay.
My daughter got it when she was a senior in high school. That's just what it is.
I hear you, man.
And guess what they got, Drum?
Straight A's.
No. Guess what kind of phone they got?
Flip phone.
Yeah, got a flip phone.
No
no
iPhone.
internet.
No iPhones, huh?
Dude, I make a decent amount of money,
Right.
and I don't have an iPhone.
Right. I got you.
I'm not gonna buy you something, and I'm not gonna spend $1,000 for a phone for a kid. Any parent that's doing that, I don't care what they say, they're ignorant.
Yeah.
That's ignorant to me. You can't pay a bill, but you're gonna give your kid an iPhone.
But how many other parents who have been charged and have not been successfully
The
defended?
issue is inappropriate decision making as a parent.
No question.
It is not about disciplining your child. It's about putting a plan together to raise your child to be a viable part of society. And we got to go though, but that's the
I think
important.
it was a good show there.
Yeah,
Even
that's
though
the
we
thing.
got diverted to it.
It is to
Yeah.
raise your children to be a viable part of society. And if you don't do that, you at fault.
All right.
All right, y'all. I know we ain't talk nothing we were supposed to. This mug always go left. I can't help it. He always go left. And then he be tripping.
That's a good show. All right.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching the show. We'll see you back next week.
All right.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center? Yes, spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering.
SVP, SVP TV, we're family for all your needs. SVP, SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP TV. SVP. SVP TV.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
SVP TV. We're family. We're gonna make you fall in love. SVP.
Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know